Deputy Henderson will take it from here.
A final call for a special deputy killed while helping direct graduation traffic.
Through his words and actions, he graciously shared the respect he had earned with me. I will never forget that about Larry.
The loss of Larry Henderson felt all across the law enforcement community.
Larry will live in our hearts. He'll never be gone from us.
Everyday citizens will remember him too.
Unfortunately, we've had to do this quite a few times.
Tonight, we capture the personal moments at the public services for Deputy Larry Henderson and the legacy he leaves behind.
This is WLWT News 5, leading the way.
A strong show of support at Spring Grove Cemetery as the community lays fallen Deputy Larry Henderson to rest. The day of services began at the Cintas Center, where Deputy Henderson's colleagues remembered him for his light jokes and his strong work ethic. Thanks a lot for joining us here at 5 o'clock. I'm Mike Dardis.
And good evening to you. I'm Cherie Palello. In the prayers, the readings, and eulogies, Deputy Henderson was remembered for his love and sacrifice in a life of service for others.
When given a task, no matter how unpleasant, his only reply was one or two of these simple lines. "Yes, sir, no problem. I'll take care of it, sir." "Sure," or "Whatever you need, sir." I can still hear him saying that in my mind, and it is truly humbling.
People lined the streets of Anderson Township as the police procession carried Deputy Henderson's body to his funeral service.
We spoke with a former co-worker who said the show of support was overwhelming for the risk officers take every single day.
It's sad. It happened. It could happen to any of us. I did the same thing he did for a while, work off duty, traffic details, and they always say somebody can get you if they want you.
Thousands of people gathering at Cintas Center along that procession route and at Deputy Henderson's graveside later on there in Spring Grove Cemetery.
It really was beautiful to watch today. We have live team coverage for you tonight from the procession and the final call for Deputy Henderson. We're going to get to Chris Jacobs and Brian Hamrick here in just a few minutes, but we begin with WLWT News 5's Karen Johnson. She's outside of the Cintas Center to show how Deputy Henderson's impact was felt far beyond badge number 129. Hi, Karen.
Yeah, hey, Cherie. You know, as Lieutenant Dave Downing said today, there's not enough time to tell all of his Larry stories, but he encouraged everyone to talk to each other, share stories, and listen. That way, Larry's memory can live on. A hero's farewell for a man who served with courage and compassion.
Here, we are united in grief as we reflect the life and service of Deputy Larry Henderson.
Larry Henderson dedicated 37 years to serving, first his country in the United States Marines, then Hamilton County as a sheriff's deputy.
I have no doubt that Larry's larger-than-life persona can live on indefinitely through the memories he made with us.
Henderson remembered not just for the badge he wore, but for the heart he brought to every call.
He could calm and de-escalate situations so subtly that many did not even remember how upset they were.
Henderson wasn't a complainer, never made excuses.
"It's all good, man," was his constant catchphrase. He was the epitome of keeping it light, keeping it positive, and keeping it simple.
Others also found comfort in Henderson's presence.
He often relieved me several minutes early. If I were telling him about a parking concern or an unruly patient I had been dealing with, he would simply take the radio and the key card from my hand. As he said, "Go home, I got it." When Larry said, "Go home, I got it," we all knew that everything was going to be just fine.
And now, in the words of Henderson's law enforcement brothers and sisters, we'll take it from here. And earlier this week, after the tragic death of Larry Henderson, I read the words "blue line broken." And I have to tell you, yes, hearts may be broken, but after the show of support that I saw here today at the Cintas Center, I think that blue line is stronger than ever. Reporting live tonight, Karen Johnson. WLWT News 5.
Karen, thank you so much, friend, saying we will miss our warrior, and no doubt about that. A service steeped in tradition today, followed by a dramatic procession that stretched more than 5 miles.
All ending at Deputy Larry Henderson's final resting place. And WLWT News 5's Chris Jacobs live right now at Spring Grove Cemetery, where the powerful noises from that somber service echoed far beyond the gates. Chris?
Yeah, Mike, and emotional might be a true understatement. We heard taps, the 21-gun salute. We actually had a flyover as well, 5 helicopters moving overhead. Here's some of what we heard. Yeah, so this ceremony, rooted in tradition, every beautiful layer of mourning coming with its own special meaning. We made it out to Spring Grove Cemetery this morning, and it wasn't long after we saw 2 fire trucks hoisting the American flag above a thin blue line flag. Now, one of those fire trucks was from Cincinnati. The other was from Anderson, where Deputy Henderson worked. So people started lining the street here as well, saying they just wanted to show their support. Some were holding American flags, some were standing in silence, and some were visibly emotional, saying the imagery and the moment were both just too overwhelming. Now, not long after the funeral, Hamilton County Sheriff Charmaine McGuffey spoke with us. She offered a big thank you to the community and reflected on the meaning of today's ceremony.
What you've witnessed here today is the legacy and the strength of law enforcement from around the region, from around this great nation. These are the men and women who pledged their lives so that all of us can live in peace. And what you saw, the flyover, the ceremony of folding the flag, the caisson carrying Larry, draped in the American flag, as only he would want.
Yeah, and one of the more powerful messages we heard from today was the message of hope. We were talking with Sheriff Charmaine McGuffey, and she said wearing this badge was an oath, and it's going to be very difficult for the Hamilton County Sheriff's Department, but this will happen. This healing process will happen one day at a time and one step at a time. Reporting live at Spring Grove Cemetery, Chris Jacobs, WLWT News 5.
Chris, thanks so much. Some powerful scenes there at the cemetery, but one of the most poignant moments was when that procession actually reached the place where Deputy Henderson was hit and killed.
People lining the street there right at the intersection of Martin Luther King Drive and Burnett Woods to show their support as the procession drove by, and our Brian Hamrick was there. Hi, Brian.
Yes, Cherie. Well, this is the spot where Larry Henderson was working that day. If you take a look, he was over there by that box. That's the box used to control the traffic signal here. You can see it's right at the crosswalk, but that crosswalk became the intersection of life and death for the deputy. Today, the procession passed by this exact spot at the exact minute, 1 week to the time Larry Henderson was hit and killed. The procession rode about 25 minutes past this spot. Traffic was blocked as it passed through. This is where Dave Downing described in his eulogy that a car was like a bullet that had left the barrel, saying Deputy Henderson was a target because he had on the uniform. Even though he was retired, Deputy Henderson was working the traffic light here, doing a special duty for the UC graduation. It was crowded out here. People who came to see this procession say it was impressive.
And it was certainly worthy of his sacrifice and the years that he gave to the force, the years that he gave to the people.
Yeah, there's a memorial here now. It's continued to grow throughout the week. The people that we talked to out here, they didn't even know Deputy Henderson. Many of them had seen him on campus. They knew of him, but they didn't know him. But they still felt it was important enough to come down here and show up and show their respects here. And there were probably about 100 people here. But even though this is a very difficult place to park and get to, they still felt it was that important. Reporting live, Brian Hamrick, WLWT News 5.
It really was beautiful to watch, even from back here. Brian Hamrick live for us tonight in our coverage. Remembering Deputy Larry Henderson is just beginning for you this evening. Right after the break, we're talking with some of the people who were along that procession route today. And right now on WLWT.com, you can find more of today's services and the personal tributes to Deputy Henderson.
Thank you.